we just spent a ton of money on European players that were never going to make it at the top level, and that was just a really silly structure that we had. We spent 14 on Lacardia, we spent 20 on Jahanbash, etc. So it was never really a valid enough argument. Whereas now, if you can scrutinise all you want from 2019 onwards, because that's what we've done. We've brought in a lot of wonder kids. Yes, it's a very, very good piece of business. I do rate it, but we are seeing a lot of the consequences now. We've got one of the best defenders, probably the best defender we've ever had in Lewis Dunk. He's now being left on his own, really. We haven't really given him the support that he needs to. Last season he had Webster and White alongside him, and that was, England material sort of back three, whereas now he's got, no disrespect to them, but Veltman and Duffy, it's not quite the same feel. I think up front we've really not improved in the last 3 years, to be honest. We brought in Mopé and Trossard nearly 3 years ago. They've been alright, they've not been terrible. Trossard's been good, to be fair. Probably Mopé's been good, but they've not been given the support either. We've midfield wise, Bissouma was bought in 2018, so not really applicable under this. Lallana was a decent signing, he'll be okay for coaching levels and stuff, but realistically he's not going to change us. Has got to get to Europe. Alzate come up through the ranks.
Speaking of that, quickly, Ryan, because obviously you missed the last episode and we spoke about John Morling, and we got our opinion.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's a bit of a cover-up, if we're being honest. I think most Brighton fans are sort of seeing a conspiracy in it, aren't they? I think, so heavily linked with Newcastle, and then all of a sudden he gets sacked for a COVID breach when no one really cares about COVID anymore. I don't know. I just found it a bit of a strange coincidence, to say the least. Obviously, I'm not on my tinfoil hat days, but I think, it was a bit of a... there is definitely a linkable conspiracy there. I think.
And correct me if I'm wrong. It hasn't even been mentioned by the club properly yet. Still, has it?
No, so, he hasn't been announced as sacked. So that's a bit of a strange one. And I think the way we're going at the minute, it is very easy to feel like we are falling apart, because and this is what I meant about that tweet. I didn't actually get to talk about it on the pod, where I got rinsed for this, and I lost a lot of followers. But then once people sort of read my tweet properly, when I said that we're declining and we've probably not done as well, we've probably... What was the word I put? We've probably declined this season on last. I think I said we're worse off this season than we were last season, something like that. What I said was based on transfers, and not I wasn't saying league position. Like, everyone was saying, "Oh well, you're deluded because this is a reactionary tweet. We're still better off in the league." Well, that's not what I'm saying. If you read the tweet, you would have known that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying off the pitch, transfers wise, we are worse off. We are 100% worse off. We are not we've ridden our luck a lot this season, especially results based, and we're starting to feel that now. The league positioning probably isn't a very fair argument to say that we've improved when we've lost most of our quality players. If we were to say we've improved, we would have kept hold of Ben White. We wouldn't have sold Dan Burn in January, and we would have had a very, very solid team this season. We probably would have put a bit more investment into our attack when it was so blatantly obvious that we needed a better attacker, and we settled with Welbeck, Mopé and Connolly to start the season off. I mean, who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. But to say we would have improved would be, yes, we got rid of Connolly, then bringing on someone, like Undav, but signing him then, when he could have had the whole season to make an impact. Not now, when we're not going to see him again, and we've got this whole rest of this season to sort of suffer with the mistakes we made back in the summertime.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like we have...
This second half of the season would have been good for him to... I know he wanted to win the title with USG, and obviously they wanted to keep him for that reason, but
I do get that bit.
It would have been such a good time for him to start learning about the Premier League, and by the time next season arrives, he'd have already had 5 months of football under his belt in the Premier League, but... And now he's going to have to go straight in the deep end.
He's going to have to start from the bottom, it puts the pressure on him. So he's been built with all this hype, and he's going to come in, and all the fans are going to expect him to score 10 to 15 goals next season, which probably won't happen if we're being honest. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope
his
he does
goal on the weekend. How good was that? Literally, the ball was going to the top right, and it just... Sorry to say swaz, but it literally swazzed all the way.
But I don't want to put loads of pressure on him. Because obviously bringing in a player from abroad is notoriously never sustainable really for Premier League sides. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like we have definitely, in terms of transfers, we've definitely not improved. If anything, we've got worse. In terms of the squad, I definitely feel it's lighter. I think Jack mentioned numbers, and that's
Potter wanted that, didn't
he? Yeah, he said he wanted a shorter squad. I get that bit, but I think there's fine with being a shorter squad, but I'd rather quality over quantity, and I think we don't have the quality that we had last season, and we definitely don't play the same football as we did last season, and that's a given. I think anyone that says we play the same as or better than we did last season would be lying.
That's
I think
the weird thing, but we got
dominated
more results, haven't we, this year?
Yeah, but that comes down to a lot.
Football.
But Ben, there's a lot of luck in that, mate. Like we've had a few VAR decisions. We know the Leicester one and stuff like that. We've had so many late goals, which doesn't happen every week, and that's not a, as I say, sustainable way of playing football and getting results. I don't know. That's my point in that tweet. I'm not saying yes, league positioning wise, we are much better off, and certain players, individuals have become better. In Trossard, he's probably had a much better season he's ever had with us. Yes, he's off form at the minute, but overall he's better. Alexis McAllister's improving. We have got improvements, but I think overall as a whole club, we've definitely taken a step back. I think. I don't think we've taken a step forward this season, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no. I do you know what? I actually get a lot of things that I sort of agree with, to be honest. Like, if you actually look through, I was just looking through our results. Yeah, the teams we've actually beaten this season, aren't that great. If you look,
that's what I mean.
Let's just start right at the beginning of the season. Burnley, we beat them. We beat Watford. Watford, Brentford, Leicester. They're all the ones that we had right at the beginning of the season. And if you look now where they are now, they're not that great, and they're all pretty much down at the bottom or towards the bottom of the end of the league. So, I agree with a lot of things that you're saying. With regards to sort of
the thing is, people are easy to say.
That's the most key thing, I think.
People are easy to say that I'm wrong because they've just read the beginning bit saying that we've declined. Or whatever the words I used at the time. And people are just going to go, no, you're wrong. But you haven't actually taken any sort of open mind to it or listened to anything or read anything that I've just said. And when you break it down bit by bit, that's how I always do things anyway. We aren't better off. The only things we're probably better off in is, league positioning, results basis, but then even that came at the beginning of the season. We rode our luck. And I think if we were an external looking in, say that we were, I don't know, Aston Villa, and we had this exact same squad, whatever, but we were the external watching it, you'd be saying, Brighton have got lucky again, or Brighton have got lucky again, or another 95th minute, Brighton have got lucky, You'd be saying that if you're just an avid fan, neutral. Whereas, when you even watch us, last season, we would say every single week, and I was always being the biggest positive, saying, yes, but we're playing the best football I've ever seen this club play. We would play every team off the park, pretty much. I think I could name 3 or 4 games, maybe, where we didn't deserve to win. The whole of last season. We would genuinely one of the best teams in the league last season, without a doubt. We would play them off the park. It was purely just attacking. We were so bad. And I think anyone that understands football would agree with that. And it was purely, now we rode a lot of luck. We definitely have not played as good as we can.
It was November to December, and then kind of beginning of Jan, we went on 11 games without a win, didn't we? Just mainly.
Yeah.
Even that.
Even that 13, wasn't it? 13 without a win. Yeah,
that's what I mean. People were so easy to sort of have a go, but it's true. And I think, transfers wise, I've already explained. We're definitely worse off. We've put massive pressure on this summer to improve, because if we don't improve next summer, I wouldn't blame Potter for taking a better job, because he is better than, he is a better manager than what we deserve at the moment. He deserves to be taking on a big a Newcastle job or something that has a lot of ambition behind it. Yes, we've got a lot of ambition, but we don't spend the money to prove it. And I think, if we had any sort of, ambition, we would have kept hold of Ben White in the summer, and, selling him to Arsenal 50 mil, yes, you can't say no to it, but I just think if we really, really wanted to improve this season, we wouldn't have let him go, especially letting go a Burn in the January. It's just not us, I think, and there's a lot of problems, and I can go into a lot of a deeper rooted thing, but I'm not going to completely. But I just think there's a lot of problems, and we need to sort it out this summer.
And also as well, what makes this whole thing worse is, that 11 game run that we in the Premier League that we went without a win was it all started off with that 1-1 draw against Palace, and that was that was the game we were all there as well. And mate, that game as well. Just talking about that game, we were fucking shambles. So we didn't deserve that draw.
That's what I mean. So, we weren't good.
I think that game sums up our season quite well.
Because we would have gone top of the league, wouldn't we? That was the whole thing. That we would have gone top of the league by beating Palace away, and then ever since then.
And ever since then,
it's been a gradual. It hasn't been like a decline
Yeah.
has been gradual.
Yeah.
It's like because do you know what? Because we had so many draws in that time. Everyone was like, oh well, they're not losing. They're not losing. Like if we'd lost 11 on the bounce, then that's like when people are like, oh shit, like they're all blah blah blah, like relegation, blah blah blah. But it's the fact that we were drawing games. They're like, well, they're drawing. They're not losing. So they must be half all right.
Right. I'm going to just go through this quick. I won't go through it properly, but this is what sold us dreams at the beginning of the season. We had Burnley 2-1. Watford 2-0. We looked really convincing. We're beating teams below us for once. Beating worse off teams was a massive thing. Then we got drilled by Everton 2-0, and that was a real humbler. Beat Brentford, didn't deserve anything at all. Really didn't deserve anything. But we got a last minute goal from Trossard. Leicester 2-1 win, deserved nothing. 2 goals disallowed, which probably shouldn't have been disallowed. Did not deserve that win, got a win. Palace deserved nothing. 95th minute, scored, YJ bounce, etc. 1-1 draw. Arsenal played them off the park, did nothing, 0-0. Norwich, awful game, 0-0. City drilled, 4-1 at home. Liverpool, to be fair, played well, 2-2, come back from behind. That was a good game, probably deserved the win. Newcastle, 1-1. Villa, 2-0, destroyed. Leeds, 0-0, awful game, couldn't finish our chances. West Ham, 1-1, rode our luck, got a 1-1 draw. Southampton 1-0, rode our luck, got a 1-0 draw in the 98th minute. Wolves at home, awful, 1-0 loss. Brentford at home, really, really good. 1-2-0 convincingly, good game.
Yeah. Okay.
Chelsea away, rode our luck, 90th minute, 1-0. Everton away, played really well. That was like a last season, but finishing our chances 3-2. This is the thing, I'm being realistic here. Palace 1-0, what was that at home? That was Friday night.
We scored in like the 80th minute, didn't we? Something like that, didn't we?
Yeah, not great.
They had one decent attack, that was it.
We battled them, didn't we, that night?
They had one decent attack. Yeah. We had penalty save, Pascal Price won it.
Yeah, that was it. That was it, you're right. Sorry, you're
gross,
right. Then where are we at? Chelsea 1-0 at home, Reading our luck again, pretty much. Later goal, wasn't it? 1-0 draw. Adam Webster, 60th minute it was. Leicester away, 1-0, rode our luck again. Last minute goal, last sort of 5 minutes goal.
Yeah.
Welbeck header. Watford played really well, but very, very quickly written out by the 2-0 loss to United a couple of days later. And then that's where it really went downhill. Burnley 3-0 loss, one of the worst losses I've ever seen.
And even that United game, it's just the second half that let us down. Like the first
half. First half, we were brilliant.
De Gea wasn't in goal.
Villa, Villa 2-0 loss, that was pretty poor. And Newcastle, we were a bit better. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of luck.
Look at Villa, Ryan, and they've just gone and spanked Southampton 4-0 at home.
I know.
And obviously Newcastle, we caught Newcastle on a really good run as well. Like if you're looking at it that way.
To be fair to Villa, they've spent that Grealish money really well, haven't they? They've done really well. And I think they will improve.
Just on all those results that you spoke, you read out, Ryan. Like what? I think 3 of those games where we were like, like how you were describing them. I think 3 of the games were like, we convincingly won that game. So like 3 games or 4 games out of a season to say that you've convincingly won a football match isn't exactly great. But
and if I went through all of the results of last season, I could probably be like, played really well, deserved more. Played really well, deserved more. Couldn't hit a barn door, played really well. That's how it would be last season. Yeah. Anyway, I won't rant anymore because I understand it's negative, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just being honest.